Good morning, everybody. Am I audible? Yes. So, you all must have come across the series Fire Up. We have covered almost all sessions of Fire Up in past. So it's been a while, so we have decided to start it again. It will be helpful for all new broker associates and also those who are there for a while but still want to brush up their knowledge. So let us start today with the first chapter of Fire Up, that is getting started. So we all know that this is our sales associates, agents or broker associates. They work for sellers and buyers. So one of the most complex and significant financial events in people's lives is the purchase or sale of a house. And because of the complexity of the transaction, size of the house or property, and lack of frequency of these transactions, people typically seek our help, like sales associates' help, for this process to be completed. Therefore, an agent must have a thorough knowledge of the real estate market in their community. They must know which neighborhoods is best fit for their clients' needs and budgets. These agents must be also familiar with local zoning, tax laws, and know where to obtain financing for the purchase of property their client is seeking to buy. So when selling property, sales associate should verify ownership and act as an intermediary in negotiating sales between buyers and sellers. So an agent is an intermediator between the seller and buyer, and whenever selling a property, he should verify ownership and act as an intermediary in negotiating sales between buyers and sellers, during which they both agree to the detail of the transaction. In a final meeting or a closing, the buyer takes possession of the property and they may help arrange financing from a lender or a prospective buyer, which may make the difference between success and failure in a closing sale. See, otherwise what we do, we act as intermediator for a sale or a purchase. But if you know who are the loan advisor, who are the agents who arrange quick loans in that area, and you help arranging financing, it makes a difference between success and failure in closing a sale. Anita, is it audible now? Does anybody have a problem regarding this? So, Anita, इधर आ जाओ, बाजू में ही हो. Let's go ahead. So, sales associate spend a significant amount of time looking for properties to list or sell. They obtain listing agreements by owners to place properties for sale with the firm. So, when listing property for sale, he should compare the listed property, the one he is going to list, with similar properties that recently sold to determine a comparative marketing price for the property. We have done CMA, comparative marketing analysis, to arrive at a proper price. So he should do that. Before showing properties to potential buyer, what an agent should do, he should meet with them to get an idea of the type of home they would like to buy and how much they can afford to spend. Suppose there is his requirement is 3 BHK. Okay, so he is left to come here. Okay. So his requirement is a 3 BHK. He wants to buy 3 BHK, but his budget is around 75 lakh. And you have a 3 BHK which is going to be sold around 85 to 90 lakh. So you need to meet a buyer first, determine what is his maximum budget, what are other criteria, and then you should go to show the property. What was that? They may make arrangement to have the buyer pre-qualified for loan. Agent should do that. Agent may also ask buyer to sign a buyer representation agreement, maybe that I will be representing XYZ person for buying his property, which states that the sales associate will be the only one to show houses to the buyer. A sales associate qualifies buyer before investing his time and theirs. As we get lot of leads, we have learned in the lead sections that whenever you get a lead, you have to qualify the lead to sell. Suppose someone wants to sell his house, we want to qualify whether he wants to sell or not, why he wants to sell, etc. This sales associate may meet numerous times with prospective buyer to discuss and visit available property, and he will identify and emphasize most pertinent selling details. Like to a young family looking for a house, for example, he has to emphasize the convenient floor plan, the area's low crime rate, and proximity to schools and shopping. Suppose a buyer is an investor, then they may point out the tax advantage of owning a rental property and finding a renter. Sir, if you get a property in this society, most of the houses are rented and you will get a good rent. So for an investor, you need to have a separate strategy. For a couple or for a family with elder people and everyone in the house, your strategy should be the proximity to the schools and shopping, and there should be a low crime area, like that. If negotiation over price becomes necessary, an agent must follow the client's instruction thoroughly, and he may present counter offer to reach the final sales price as per the instruction of the client and not himself. Once the buyer and seller have signed a contract, what then? Then an agent must ensure that all terms of the contract are met before the closing date. Both of them must have agreed on some terms. Then it is a duty of an agent to do that. Increasingly, sales associate must deal with other issues, like if you are buying a house and there is a paint on a wall, then a lead paint should be avoided. So you should educate your buyer. We should not buy this property, or we should buy this property, vice versa. Most sales associates sell resident property. A small number sell commercial. Some people sell industrial and some people agriculture, or maybe some people are selling all type of real estate. Right? So every specialty requires knowledge of the particular type of property and clientele. So listing and selling this types of property requires an understanding of business trends and locations. Agents who lease, sell or lease industrial property should know about that area's transportations, utilities and labor supply. Whatever the type of property are, the sales associate must know how to meet the client's particular requirement. So following the sales of the property, both the agent who provided the buyer agent, and the sales associate who obtained the listing, it is called listing agent, receive a portion of the commission. So if a sales associate provide the buyer and the listing, he could potentially double his income in that particular transaction. So this is common in some market and not in other market. So to become a successful broker associate, we have seen what could be the nature of work of an agent who is starting his career, or even who has already started his career as a sales associate. What should be the nature of work? Okay, he is an intermediator between a seller and a buyer, and what all he should do before and after a transaction is done. Now he should be, for becoming successful, he should be with market trends, and he should understand, he should have a knowledge of current market trends. So there are few market trends we should take care. So one of the first thing a new agent must do is to familiarize himself with the trends that are prevalent in his market. Some social, economical or technology or whatever trends are prevailing in Ahmedabad may not be in Mumbai or may not be in Surat or Navsari. So you should be comfortable and you should have all the type of knowledge of this market trends in your own area. So mainly there are 5 trends we have listed here which you need to investigate in your market. Social. So it is a demographic, cultural changes, etc. Economic, what is consumer income, interest rates, etc. Technological, internet consumers, social media. Recently on 17th or 18th of June, Google had published that almost 50% of the real estate buyers are searching property online. So are you one of them? Are you losing those 50% of the client? So you need to know that. Then competition, who are the main players, who are the new players, and what is the competitive advantages and weaknesses of these players, and regularity. Of course, laws and consumerism is to be taken care. So trends need to be looked at for their threats and opportunity they provide. Many agents have developed their career by just taking advantage of developing trends where expertise is often a factor. So, as a part of market knowledge which you need to have, you have to devote enough time to learn things needed to execute your business well. So what are these important market knowledge which you should possess? Average sale price for different type of size of homes, like 3-bedroom apartment, average size lot, river facing or garden facing property. What are the properties and what are the areas, where are those, and what are the prices for these? Schools, information on where there are the schools, what types of schools they are, like linguistics, English medium school, Gujarati medium school, Gujarat Board, Central Education Board, like that. High schools, public school, private school, regional school, like maybe some people want to have a Marathi school, Hindi medium school, like that. So you need to have a knowledge about this school's information of the area where you are working. Rental availability and vacancy rates. So rental availability of the flat and the vacancy rate. How many apartments are available to be rented. Your top 3 competitors. You should know in the area where you are working who are your top 3 competitors. New home construction knowledge about the developer, new home construction developer, builders, you should be knowing about that. City development plan and zoning of the city, latest development of the zoning, FSI, etc. You should have a knowledge of hospital, churches, shopping, police, fire department, temples, etc. And the proximity to the recreation area, entertainment area, parks, children playground with public transportation, how much driving distance is between these 2 places, your home and school or shopping malls and railway station, etc. Property tax in the area you are working. Number of homes sold per year, number of homes in development, how many new buildings are coming up in that area, and what would be the rates, the moving up rate, etc. You should have a historical increase in value, price range in your neighborhood. Yes. So if you have taken care of the things you need to do before you become an agent, after you have become an agent, if you have taken care of your market trends, so you need to become the sales associate of choice, not your choice. See, according to a buyers or sellers trend, customers are looking for which characteristic of an agent when they hire an agent to buy a property on your behalf or sell a property on their behalf. So while selecting an agent, what is a customer looking for in you? The most important thing is a trustworthiness. Most important thing is a trustworthiness. You have to give a guarantee, like put a guarantee of performance or certificate in writing, sign it and give it to the customer. I would be doing following things for selling your property or buying your property. So one of the reasons referral are the backbone of the real estate business is consumer believe they can trust this sales associate. And trust is earned through actions like showing homes that have qualities your buyer is looking for. If your buyer is looking for something and you have shown it something, then you will not gain trust. You should fulfill the marketing plan you set out for a sales property. Or we always think about or talk about a plan, a marketing plan which we will carry out for selling a property of a seller. We tell them, okay, sir, I will give an advertisement in newspaper, I will upload this property or icon it and another listing platform, we will have a design center, brochure, we will be just listed cards, etc. This, that, emailing. No. So we will be doing all these things to sell your property. Then you should be sticking to that plan. It is, you should, buyers and seller believe they can trust a sales associate only if they perceive they are getting a balanced view. No house is ideal and they all have some imperfections. So the more balanced your presentation, the more trustworthy you are perceived to be. So don't tell anyone that this is the best house for you, but instead find some flaws which you should be knowing and you should be telling to your client. And then if you sell, then if he buys that sale, then it is not a problem. Another way of understanding trust is that consumers are looking for honesty and integrity in agent. So it is, what is honesty? It is telling the truth about something in the past. Integrity is saying you will do something and then be delivering. So obviously they believe these characteristics are not easy to find, or they wouldn't be concerned. So ask yourself, how can you mitigate this fear? No. Next. So testimonials. Have a page of quotes from satisfied customer, or much better is videos of testimonial on your website. Show either their names. It is very effective if they are from leaders in the community, but take their permission. Or the niche, move up buyer, first time buyer, and they have given their testimonial. I just moved into Ahmedabad and this agent from Remax XYZ had helped me considerably to buy a new home. I was not getting any home in any particular area because of this factor, but he has helped me out in an excellent manner. So this testimonial will help you much better than any other marketing which you do. And if it is from his mouth, if it is in a form of video, that will be the best way to showcase your testimonial. Organizations. Position yourself with companies or individuals who have the kind of reputation you want to project, like neighborhood watch, citizen groups. In all such organizations, Rotary Club, Ahmedabad Real Estate Association, all this organization, you should be a member of this organization and you should promote yourself here. If you get letters or reference from these organizations to your character or real estate skills, it will be much better. Positions held. So if you have held a position of trust in past, because all the sales agents are not starting their career as agent. So many successful agents have shifted from a good business or good position to this business. Then you must have, maybe you were a president of some charitable trust or something like that you had. So you should be having that letters to show your character. Be upfront. This makes your presentation more believable. Suppose if you want to tell to a potential buyer that this property has this problem, once, thrice or four times in a day a train passes from here and it makes some noise, but it is a small train and it will last not for 1 minute, not more than for 1 minute, then it was a good part from your side that you already told about it. So you should be upfront about anything rather than something comes up later and you said, no, I know, yeah, it was about that, but I thought it won't hurt you or it won't be a problem for you. It is not our lookout. You have to be upfront. So what a customer is looking for? One was trustworthiness. Next is market expertise. So we discussed earlier the neighborhood expertise and some of the activities an agent need to work on or to develop. It is critical to your own confidence and to consumer trust that with the advent of internet, consumers are smart and much better informed than what we think. They search online about home buying, they know what is the selling process and what are the market conditions. So this includes insight into the neighborhood like schools, crime, activities, events, demographics, and being able to refer local renovator who can renovate your house well, etc. Suppose loan advisor, cleaning services, you must have knowledge of all these things. So what it says is it demonstrates that you are a neighborhood specialty, your neighborhood specialty, providing a list of homes you have sold in the area. You should prepare neighborhood brochures on what a client would like to know, like history, schools, temples, languages, growth of that area, commercial activity, zoning, community club, etc. Send out regular mailings and highlighting events in the area and real estate activity or statistics in your newsletter. This many houses were sold this month, this year, etc. You should have visible open house. You should hold visible open house and promote it to the residents around those houses. Advertise in the community newsletter. Support local events like football championship or something like that, which is a local and it doesn't cost much. You or your office should do that. Incorporate testimonials from area resident using name and street. Promote the area in your website. Listing taken in the area, length of time lived in that area, and video of this neighborhood. This neighborhood expertise can be critical in establishing trust, and you are selling trust. So it can be an enormous difference maker for the new agent. But suppose you are a brand new to real estate and you are competing for a listing against an experienced agent. Your opponent is going to tout their experience, number of house he has sold, awards won, etc. So how can you compete with him if you are new? So you do it by demonstrating expertise that the customer will value and allow him or her to trust you than those experienced agent. So in any way this should be there. Listening skill. The complaint many customers have is that the agent don't listen to what they are telling them. Agent don't take necessary time to ask question and get to the bottom of their need and concerns. The result is what? Miscommunication and complaints. Buyers find they are being shown two-story apartment after stating they were looking for a bungalow. So first ask questions, understand what is their need, add testimonials, and you should have a buyer interview process. Ask question is, why do you need 3 bedrooms? Why do you want a 2-car garage? The answer may seem obvious. You know, the answer will be obvious, but still you need to ask question. Don't assume at your peril. The more you know about why they need what they say, the better able you are to suggest alternatives and get to the bottom of what a must have and what is a would like to have. Sometimes some features are like they would like to have. If it is there, it's fine. If it's not, it doesn't matter. But some features are like must have. So if you haven't asked question, you haven't understand it properly, what are the needs of your client, then you will fail. So it is wise to involve the client by having them write down their ultimate scenario. What would you like in your home? How much would you like to spend? Where would you like to live? What are the things that you like least in your home? what school area would you like your children to go to, like that. So by including as a part of testimonial, this is possible. Like XYZ listed to our needs, like Mr. Sharma listed to our needs and saved us time by whatever. Have a buyer interview process you follow that covers set topics, needs, agency, price, area, etc. So you should have that. The better sales associate spend the time to inquire about the consumer's need. You are able to ask for referral if they are happy with the process. If a process was not good, at the end of transaction, even if you have won your brokerage, you will not earn referral. So your attitude and question tell the consumer whether or not you are interested in them. Every time you show by a home, they assess whether you have listened, take notes during the interview and follow up in writing with your understanding of the requirement if necessary. And accessibility, written phone calls, feedback or showing, set a minimum contact period. So consumer need to know how to reach you and that you will respond in a timely manner. They expect you to take initiative and not require prompting. You have called him today, okay, I need to see an apartment tomorrow because I am on a leave tomorrow. So if it can be possible, can we see 3-4 apartment tomorrow? The next day morning or maybe by the end of evening you should come back. Okay sir, tomorrow we have lined up 3 apartments showing, so I will pick up you from here, or maybe you can come here directly. But next day morning he has to call you, okay, hey, I called you yesterday, okay, today I am on leave and I wanted to see 3-4 apartment, and you have forgotten. You did not return his call, you did not return his email. So what will happen? You straight away are going to lose line. As such, he will come. You will in a hustle bustle arrange some apartment showing. You will go, but first beginning was not good. So they get insulted when you don't return phone calls or emails. So seek to ascertain the method a consumer wants to be communicated with, whether it is email, phone, text message. So sometimes you call someone and he is not able to pick up. So you should ask him, sir, how do I communicate with you? Should I email you? Should I call you? Or do a text message? Or whatever is convenient to you. So you should have a feedback. You should have a phone call or email return policy. Part of your presentation should cover how you are reached and how and when you will contact the client. Sometimes you are also not able to contact client immediately. You are a busy person. So at first place you should have told your client, okay, whenever you call me, and if I cannot return your call by this much time, I will give you call, or maybe my assistant or someone from my office will call you. So this is, you have communicated, so he doesn't feel neglected. So set a minimum contact period. Suppose he has given you listing. So what is the minimum contact period? A week, 3 days, or what? So you should decide this and you should communicate it. This feature of your business can also be featured in your testimonial. Ensure you discuss holidays and vacation plan for you or them. So if you are on a vacation and he doesn't know and he calls, he get offended. But you should take your vacation, but inform your client when and how you are not contactable. So let your client know ahead of time those periods when you will not be accessible. Let them know that you don't take call after 10 p.m. or on the day each week you take off. So few will begrudge your time for rest and family as long as they know when it is and when you are working, or who to call as backup. So for those people, those agents with assistants, you can use the fact to your advantage. So many experienced agents have difficulty being accessible due to their volume of business. You need to be conscious of the fact that this may be perceived by the client as you are having achieved a level of success associated with complacency. he will feel you have been complacent and you don't want more business. Many experienced agents have teams and clients may raise question about an agent's need for their business when a team is used. So you should be very clear in your communication ability. Whenever I am not accessible, whenever I am away, whenever I am busy, I will assign someone from my team who will contact you. So in that time he doesn't get offended. I had contacted you and you had sent an assistant, your assistant is replied, it should not happen. So they find it frustrating to sign a listing agreement with you only to end up working with a team member. It should not happen. So be sure to explain your process and its advantage in advance. Okay, why I am doing this. This will not waste your time, sir. If you want to work only with you, only with me, then I will be available after 1 week, this, that, and I don't want you to lose time, etc. One of the characteristics an agent should have is helpfulness. This is another feature. This is another feature of your business you can market. What do you do to make, a helpfulness nature you cannot develop in one day. Helpfulness nature is always there and you should market that to your advantage. What do you do to make moving a positive experience? You want to instill and it's my pleasure attitude in yourself and your staff. This may be especially useful when returning calls. Understand that there is a difference between being helpful and being overly intrusive. So keep it my pleasure attitude. Providing literature means how-to guides, how to do, how to move in new city, and how to shopping in new city. So these are the how-to guides you should have. Suppose just move cards, advice on how to select lawyers, home inspector, insurance, how to get home insurance, which are the schools nearby, which is good, and what are their yearly results. So provide a video on how to set up their home for showings. Ensure your marketing plan presentation has lots of helpful ideas and refer them to websites where they can get more of such. Try to be helpful in areas where other agents are not, thereby differentiating your service. So understand that is often the little things we do that generate the referral. So the best way to get what you want is by helping others get what they want. And last but not the least is the professionalism. Being a professional is a catch-all term for all the above, but including some very valuable attributes like negotiation skills. These skills are perceived as a very valuable skill as consumers still do not feel comfortable doing the negotiation on their own. Whenever a negotiation things arrive, someone wants to do it for them. Let him do negotiation on my behalf. Now the internet has allowed them to research locations and neighborhoods. However, they still felt they need you to get them the best deal. The internet does not teach them negotiation skills. They show them which are the best area, who are the best builders, which is the best neighborhood in Ahmedabad or Mumbai or Pune, wherever you are working. But for negotiation, they will need you. So in your professionalism, one of the skills should be negotiation. Then buying or selling a home is an emotional experience and consumer wants someone who will give them the time to adapt. So in both the buying and selling situations, consumers always struggle with conflicting feelings and experience second thoughts. Okay. Not this, but like I should go to there. This is the nearby. My wife would like this. My parent would like this. So any perceived pressure to settle on a location or finalize a deal is viewed as extremely negative, because home selling and buying in our country is very emotional experience. You should not be very intrusive. So it is important for you, for an agent, to be patient and flexible. Wait for that buying signal. The consumer knows their ideas and specifications may change as they go through the buying process, and they want a professional who can adapt those changes. These people do not want to have a argue with their agent should they decide to change their mind. So if they decide, no, I don't want to buy this, or I want to move here, do not argue. Be patient and flexible. Consumer wants a sales associate who pay attention to details. Now, this we have learned in that listening skills. So if you have not paid attention to details, it will backfire. At a time when buyers or sellers are trying to work through all the aspects of a sale or purchase, a good agent makes sure of all small and large issues get the proper attention and nothing falls through the cracks. So be attentive, hardworking. Seller wants to make sure their properties stand out, and you are doing everything possible to emphasize the advantage of their property. They expect you to work out hard, they expect you to work hard at promoting the property or alternatively finding a suitable property for them to buy. They want agents who have done their homework. Network. Sellers like the fact that their remote sales associate is contacted throughout their town or city, and indeed the world, and consequently could bring clients to their homes before they hit the market. So an agent who needs to have connection in a range of related fields like financing, repairs, renovations, landscaping, paving, etc. Then agent should be networked. He should have all such people in his network. Diligence. Buyers and sellers want to know you have a passion for the business that extends beyond a defined work week. They are looking for someone who is enthusiastic about the work they do and looks after their interest. So we have seen what an agent should do before he joins this industry, what he should do when he joins, when he gets started, what is his nature of work, what is his market expertise, then what are the market trends he should know, what are the negotiation skill, professionalism, everything, accessibility, helpfulness, everything is needed. Still, why? I just today only I searched why real estate agent, and they say why real estate agent fail. So why real estate agents fail? Why they need social media? Why they should have website? But today we will talk about only the first line. Why real estate agents fail? So sales associates fail because of many reasons. They do not work hard enough. They do not work efficiently or effectively. See, I am talking about those who have failed, okay? So don't forget of it. They are undercapitalized. They don't get sufficient training. The biggest reason boils down or is lack of prospects. So when they do have a good prospect, they put all their hopes and dreams into them. When they don't work out, the new agent is devastated, is finished. The stress finally causes them to seek out a different career. So why this happen? So number one is unrealistic expectation. Being good with people, having a lot of friends does help, but it is not enough. New agent overestimate the amount of business their friends will bring. Only a small fraction may buy or sell property in any given year. Further, many will wait to see whether you make it in the real estate business or you want to build your career on their shoulder. So they will wait. This is why it is so important to advertise and promote your success to your centers of influence. Not enough working capital. Not entering the business with adequate financial resources is a common reason for failure. It is not just having enough cash on hand to make it to the first commission. It is also about making a plan and budget that is realistic in estimating expenses. We had a BAMT few weeks back and some people were told to come with their goals and marketing plan for the year. We waited for 2 weeks and they haven't come. So we are hoping they are making a good plan. So it should be realistic in estimating expenses, allows for the unforeseen, and hopefully it includes a budget for marketing. Do not rely only on your broker for prospects and business. Make a marketing plan and develop a budget to fund that plan throughout the first year. Third is burnout. So one reason given by agents who have left the business is they just burned out. It's usually in relation to working with buyers for long stretches without a deal. The temptation for new sales agent is to take any prospect that comes along hoping for a deal at the end. So if someone you know is selling or buying and is uncomfortable about working with you, you can always offer to bring in a more experienced agent and split the sale with him or her in exchange for letting you learn under his or her wing. Then you receive much needed experience and advantage. Plus, the more experienced sales associate may refer business to you once you have proven yourself. And the fourth is part-time work. This is last not but least the sum of 4 most important failure reasons. Part-time work. Many new agents, because they are undercapitalized, we have seen in second, you should not be undercapitalized. So for getting capital, what they do, they hedge their bets by keeping their day jobs. This is especially true if they are secretly afraid that they won't be successful. They do not tell anyone else, I might not be successful in real estate, but they deep inside they have a worry, okay, I will not be successful then let me keep working this job also. So but you cannot serve 2 masters. Imagine telling your other employer you cannot come to work because you have a listing appointment. What will happen? Having 2 jobs is a sure reason you will not be successful as a sales associate. The biggest reason for new agent failure is to not understand the amount of hard work that is necessary in the beginning. The first 2 or more years will entail long hours and dedication in real estate. Not everyone has the qualities to be an entrepreneur and has the self-discipline to work 7 days a week for a couple of years to learn the business and to build a pipeline. So many never cut the cord from other careers and are not able to make the full-time plus commitment. It's a full-time plus commitment it takes. So for many agents, it takes 4 or 5 years to make a good after paying your income tax. Next. So suppose you have all these characteristics we discussed, everything is fine, you are not going to work part-time, everything, then a sales associate must have mission statement. A mission statement. So a mission statement for your real estate practice is one of the most important definition you can create on your own. So if it is constructed with thought, it will communicate your business purpose to your customers and guide yourself in making critical strategic decisions about the direction of your company. So it should be no more than a few sentences long. Your mission statement should not be more than few sentences, maybe not more than few words, and it must be written with your clients in mind. You can develop it by answering this simple guideline question. So it is for you, for agents. What does your business do? What is the reason for your business existence? Who benefit from your business products or services? What are you trying to achieve on behalf of your customer? You are trying to gain trust? What? It's a hint. So you should answer all these questions and form a formidable, a good mission statement. So why is it better than other businesses, products or services in the marketplace? What do you do well? What do you serve best? So what do you do well? Selling, buying. What do you serve best? Seller, buyer. What action would you like to be distinguished for? High network transaction, commercial transaction, or residential, or a new residential project, or a resale property? Where would you like the business to be going? These are few questions you should ask yourself, and then you should write your mission statement. We would give you some example mission statements according to which you can make one for you. Suppose I cater to high-tech clients, providing them the kind of service that they expect from a modern real estate agent. If you consider yourself high-tech, I am the sales associate you want to work with. But send this statement to only those who are tech savvy. If you send your proposal to someone with this mission statement who is not tech savvy and who hates technology, then think of what will happen. Next. I am in a business to make sure that first-time buyers have a great experience in their transaction. This includes knowledge of specialized financing. So if you are into a new property sale, if you are into sale of builder's property, or if you are into sale of new property, whether it is a real commercial or residential, then this could be your ideal mission statement. My mission is to make sure that sellers in West Ahmedabad, South Mumbai or Pune or in South Gujarat sell at the highest possible price in the least amount of time. My thorough pricing techniques help my client set the price right from the beginning of the process. Now, the words in red has to be replaced by your area of expertise. If you are in Navsari, if you are in Surat, if you are in Pune, if you are in Bombay, South Bombay, wherever you are, you have to change accordingly. So remember, these are all few example mission statement. You should answer those questions very well, not very well, but in a with true sense, honestly, and what those answer comes accordingly, you can form your own mission statement. My business purpose is to help clients from different cultures buy and sell houses in this is in Delhi area, this is in Surat, this is in Ahmedabad, etc. I guarantee a good business experience by communicating with them in their own language and by helping them to overcome cultural barriers every time that is needed. I specialize in helping buyers from overseas purchase. Suppose you want to work for NRI who want to invest back home. This should be your mission statement. I accomplish this by providing abundant information not only about real estate but about the entire experience of living abroad. So what should be your goals every year? What should be your goal for this year? As a part of your overall business plan, you need to determine your goals. Your goals should be written down. What do you do by writing down is you acknowledge that you expect to achieve them and that you are committed to achieve it. Expectation is critical because it changes the mindset. So if you expect something and you are committed to doing whatever it takes to achieve it, you immediately focus on how to achieve it. Otherwise, your goal becomes replaced by competing idea. So it is important to have goals for all areas. It may be a real estate sector, spiritual. I would do yoga every day 1 hour to achieve good health. I will go to temple once in a week, or I will attend such courses that gain me spiritual knowledge. My family goal, I will take them to vacation once in a year or so. Social, I would be attending this much social functions. Recreation, for all walks of your life you should have goals, not only just for real estate. Next. So this is a guide for your real estate career goals. We'll be sending you this so you will understand. So write down your annual commission goal. Maybe it's 20 lakh rupees. Your average commission you are writing 2 lakh rupees. So 20 lakh divided by 2 lakh is 10 lakh. Number of sales to achieve your goal. Number of 10 transactions. Number of buyer transactions you are selling sales as a sales associate. You are listing sales associate. Sales and listing ratio, percentage listing that sale. So all these you should feel. There are written number. Divide number 4 by 7 will come a number. So you should go through all this. You will get this presentation by Urvashi by end of day. So you should have a marketing plan ready for achieving all above things we have discussed. One thing to keep in mind when developing your marketing plan is that you should avoid big income fluctuations. You must allot a certain amount of your time each day to your career in following areas. Follow up on the transaction that you have on the table, prospecting for new business, and contacting past clients and centers of influence. Your marketing plan depends upon the goals that you have established, and it will be different for every agent. See that you have planned your goals properly. Your marketing plan is very proper to incorporate it in your success area. These are some list of sales associate tools we tell you every time. Your login name and password to iConnect, Main Street, Remax Pin. What all things you require as an agent. Everything is listed here. You will get as an email. So we are not going into detail. I hope we have reached at the end of the presentation. Yeah, thank you to me also. So do let me know if you have any question. Send us an email at mgm@remax.in. For any other training you would require, we would be this series will go on. This was the part 1, so it will be up to part 6, 7. In between we will be taking GridTex website design tool, which you all have. Most of the agents in Gujarat and Maharashtra have their own website, so we will be teaching them how to create your own website in somewhere, so you not get bored. So thank you very much. Bye.